Welcome to Be Less Stupid, the show for everyone who believes alternative facts are not a substitute for truth and science. On today's show, why Trump trolls have so many derogatory nicknames for liberals and are so quick to tell you, go use your liberal tears as lube and get fucked, as was suggested to me on Facebook. And that was a comment on a post of a photo of an eagle wearing a Trump hat, carrying a banned Muslim sign, eating a hot dog while demonstrating against Planned Parenthood. These nicknames, of course, are become ubiquitous. Write anything pro-Hillary or anti-Trump on the internet, and the trolls will magically appear. And it's not just the web, of course. You can hear this litany of derogatory words on talk radio, and James Woods has them all tattooed on his nutsack, which I'm being told you cannot unsee. The words I am referring to are cuck, snowflake, libtard, fucktard, social justice warrior, feminazi, beta, socialist, democrat, democrap, queers, crybaby, Googles, Yahoos, Skittles, and Skypes. By the way, those are the words that they use for Jews, blacks, gays, and Mexicans to get around the web's hate speech filters. There's also Durdens, butterfly, fish bucket, fetus-hating douchecrat, flag-burning fruitcake, porn-loving eco-terrorist, bongo-playing welfare queen, hummus-eating polite Whole Food shopper, and puppy-rescuing, charity-giving Sarah McLachlan fan. Okay, those last two I might have made up. And for balance, by the way, what's the derogatory nickname that liberals use when referring to ignorant, pro-life, anti-immigrant gun owners? I believe they call them Republicans. So, what's the point of all of these nicknames? They have the psychological effect of dehumanizing liberals. As the science goes, when a Trump troll comments on your Facebook page that you crybaby libtard should die, he probably isn't suggesting that Carl, his neighbor, who he watches football with, but who voted for Hillary, should die. Rather, he's just a douche who wants some amorphous idea of a weak, emasculated man to die, I think. Anyway, this is psychology stuff and it's kind of slippery. Also, he might genuinely want you dead. Since the election, it seems this online aggression has been turned up to 11. Anyway, what gives? I have the answer right after this. Welcome back. The real world has a pretty efficient system of justice. If two guys are having a disagreement and one guy says to the other, "I'm gonna fuck your wife and make you watch," that guy probably gets punched. When you've been attacked in print, though, the internet has no mechanism to reach through the thicket of wires, beeps, ones and zeros to punch some asshole who's staying up late on his laptop because he just got back from the Charlie Daniels concert at the mall down by the swimming hole. That's because on the internet, there is virtually no fear of reprisal. You see, anonymity makes people aggressive. And it's been demonstrated time and time again. In the real world, if you're at dinner and ask, "Can you pass the salt?" and the response is, "Die, fucktard," and that's your mother talking, by the way, your mom will likely see you shudder, roll your eyes, or frown. Or in Trump's case, he'd probably just mock you for being handicapped. Idiot. These social cues give people feedback about how their words are being received. If during a conversation your face goes flush or your eyes well up with tears, I know that you're upset or scared or angry. And as long as I'm not a member of the Manson family, I stop, I check on you, and hopefully I apologize. On the internet, As the old Yiddish saying goes, trolls can't see the fear in your Shana Punim when they demand that you should be raped for going on a spazier to support a woman's right to an abortion. Admittedly, by the way, not a very pithy saying. Also, it looks terrible sewn onto a pillow. Let me put this another way. The trolls cannot see how fucking scared you are when they write that you should die for supporting a different person for president. That's because anonymity makes people more aggressive. By the way, here's some more evidence. In decades of research, science has determined that when people discover that they won't be held immediately accountable for their actions, they tend to resort to more simplistic estimates of complicated issues, and they fall back on crude and primitive thinking, acting, and, of course, writing. Think about it. When you're in the car and a guy cuts you off, you don't roll down the window to explain how dangerous his driving is. You shout, "Fuck you," and you give him the finger. In the car, you're protected and anonymous. If this happened while you were walking on the street, you would probably apologize for being in their way. Humans tend to behave within the boundaries of certain norms based on the situation that they're in. For example, people tend not to shout "fuck you" at a funeral, the way they might while watching a professional wrestling match. Charlie Sheen, of course, being the likely exception. However, the internet is different. There's lots of research that indicates that if, for example, the first commenter on a video writes, "This cuck is a fucking joke," as was written to me, it somehow gives permission to everyone who follows to be just as offensive. In a 2004 paper in which he described the disinhibition effect, psychologist John Suller suggested several factors that contribute to aggression online. He referred to the minimizing of authority. Since there's no police there, people think they can do whatever they want. Like when you come to a stop sign in the middle of the night, you probably roll right through it. He also referred to something he called dissociative anonymity. It's that when you feel like your actions can't be attributed to you. It's one of the reasons, for example, that you see members of ISIS or the Ku Klux Klan wearing masks when they commit horrible atrocities. He also referred to something he called dissociative imagination, that what you're writing isn't in the real world and that it isn't being read by real people. In the real world, friends, family, neighbors, authority figures, the police, they tend to monitor one another's behavior. And most people tend to behave in a way that doesn't cause too much friction in society. However, on the internet, there are no gatekeepers. There's no watchdogs, there's no authority, there's no social pressure that discourages anyone from telling a total stranger to use your liberal tears as lube and get fucked. You can find more than 30 hours of original, factual entertainment on our streaming service, factbox.tv, and it's all free. Seriously, totally free. It's for anyone who is interested in science, fact, funny, pop culture, sex, pizza, and explosions. Please like our Facebook page so that you will get new episodes of Be Less Stupid about twice a week. You can find the first 30 episodes at our website. And I will see you next time on Be Less Stupid. Thanks for tuning in.